Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 1122, and today's topic is the forensic chemistry and criminology, how they are related with each other. And this forensic chemistry, in the last lecture I have already delivered and mentioned about the forensic science. And the word forensic means where the legal system, crime and all these things are related to science. That is called forensic science. And forensic science is having lot of different forensic branches, and forensic chemistry is one of the branch of forensic science. So the forensic chemistry means it is the forensic branch of chemical substances, chemistry, which are used to detect the chemical substances which are used to commit the crime. And there can be different type of chemical substances, different cases and different approaches. So nowadays we have lot of synthetic products which are widely used to commit the crime, and not only crime, even there are cases where lot of different type of compounds which are substandard, which are duplicate, they are used to cheat the population. That is under terminology of forensic chemistry, and where chemists are using their methods of analyzing, that is some chemical test, chemical analysis, also chromatographic technique, that is thin layer chromatography, column chromatography, even instrumentation, that is nuclear magnetic resonance imaging and ultraviolet light frequencies to detect different type of sophisticated compounds which are used to cheat the people. And in that case, even the materials which are used in building to cheat the people who are constructing their houses, the poor quality of sand, cement and all the building materials, even the steel, lot of chemical substances are involved in this forensic chemistry. Once I add forensic means criminology is involved. Criminal, for to detect the criminology of criminal act of the people by using chemistry, chemical substances. That is actually forensic chemistry. Actually, the forensic chemistry is not new. It has thousands of year history. Romans, Greek and Egyptian, these three people were used, three civilizations and cultures, we can say, very dominant cultures some 4,000-5,000 years ago were Romans, Greek and Egyptian. And at that time, the most important chemical substance was only poison. Poison was used for all purposes. So once I am saying poison means there was not any technology or advancement of synthetic chemistry or organic chemistry to synthesize the poisonous compound. The only they were using were alkaloids, which were isolated from the plant sources, natural products, and also they were organic substances. The other substance was very popular poison which was used to kill the people by Romans, and that testing was done in 1752. From there, actually, the testing of arsenic started from forensic point of view, from legal point of view. So it was very powerful inorganic substance. Arsenic was given to kill or to murder the king and queen, because it was very common practice some thousands of years ago that if some king or queen is enemy of some king, they will plan and program in such a way how to inject deadly poison, to give deadly poison to kill them. So first deadly poison was, that is alkaloid known as quinine. Quinine is a type of deadly poisonous alkaloid which was used. Quinine is alkaloid, and this alkaloid was very powerful poison, violent poison. I can say, single drop, even half of drop is enough. Just it is given, the mind will die. Anybody where one drop is enough to kill the person. And that's why the name of this quinine, it is called hemlock alkaloid. Hemlock alkaloid means deadly poison which is used to kill the people. And this quinine was mainly used for two purposes: either to kill the person who is given death penalty. So to execute the death, one drop was given to that criminal, just to execute the death for death penalty. Or sometimes this quinine, hemlock alkaloid, was given to clear the enemy king and queen. That was method used. And then the Romans, they started using quinine as well as arsenic. And also during war, they were putting on the tip of their arrow that once they are shooting the arrow with the help of bow, arrow and bow. That was the fight on horses by arrow bow. There was no gunpowder, there was no gun and no any other machinery except horses, elephants, and this bow and arrow. So they used to put some poison on the tip of the arrow. Even that thing is still. Somebody was telling in Maiduguri when I was going, some Fulanis, rural population, they were following their cattle. And some arrow and bow they were having, and somebody told me that they are still following that technique, and their tip is poisonous. They put some poisonous alkaloid or substance to kill any wild animal or any enemy. If suppose there is any fight, they will use it. So even in this modern age, first time I saw in rural area of Maiduguri, Borno state, that bow arrow tip with poison is used. That is under forensic chemistry. So once we are dealing with forensic chemistry, lot of cases are there under forensic chemistry. I am going to mention one by one. First case which will come to forensic chemistry is narcotic, psychiatric drugs. And those type of drugs nowadays is the serious issue for forensic chemists to do their analysis. Lot of synthetic LSD is there, cocaine is there, heroin is there, opium is there, Indian hemp is there. Lot of isolated compounds as well as synthetic compounds are there. So that is all under the investigation of forensic chemist. And the second one is, that is trap cases. Trap cases is also another very interesting branch of forensic chemistry. Those chemists, they understand very well. For example, if suppose there is a report that Mr. X is receiving bribe, so what they will do, the forensic chemist, the very fine powder of naphthalene powder, just those notes, either cellulose or plastic note, they will just spread some of the powder on that notes, and they will go and deliver the bribe to Mr. X. either politician or police officer or anybody, because they want to trap by use of forensic chemistry, chemical. So once they have given the packet of some loose money also, so he will be in such a way, in such a trick, that some of the cash he will take in loose and will ask the police count it, to show that bundle that I am giving you 10 million bundle, but at least one bundle of this type, you can just count it. Then he will count, no problem. After counting, after some time, because it is all programmed and arranged, the police, because forensic means it's a crime legal, all people are involved. Police, forensic chemist, doctor, all those people will come to that person and they will challenge that Mr. X, just now you have accepted the bribe of 100 million currency, naira, rupees or whatever. He will deny that what rubbish you are talking, because it was immediately he was doing to dispose of. Then they will ask that please come and just wash your hand in our one pot. He will say, okay, I can wash, no problem. So he will wash with their neutral soap, with potassium hydroxide and fatty acid. Very clearly it is, that soap is made, and all those analysis is clear to them. Once that is washed, that fragrance, that property, deep property of naphthalene will be there. And then they will say that inside your house, just now you have counted some money. You cannot deny. Of course, he will bring that money, because by the time he might be keeping that loose money in his pocket or in his drawers. Yeah, I have this money, but it is not that somebody gave me. They said, no, let me wash that money also. So both are washed, and both are having the traces of naphthalene powder, and on that basis, it is enough to arrest. And the similar case, I am reporting one Indian case, how chromatography is used. This, technique to catch one of the sophisticated murderer who murdered his wife. He was highly educated. Husband, wife, they were having some dispute. And one day, he murdered the wife and he disposed of the body. And mass media, and it went to police. It became FIR police case. Under police investigation, he was denying that no, I don't know what happened. I am not involved at all. So what the chemist did, because in Indian culture, once any lady is married, she will put red color in front of her hair. That is the sign. It is an Indian culture that that lady is married in honor of her husband. That is in Indian language called sindoor. So some red color dye is put here. So when she was killing his wife, she struggled for her life, and some of the traces of that from her hair touched to his cloth. And from the dead body of that lady, they took that small traces of that red dye, and what they did, that in the case of TLC, there is a TLC, it is called TLC plate. TLC plate means it is thin layer chromatographic plate. That is one silica gel is coated on this TLC plate, and there is very specific solvent system that is called developer. So here developer is put, and that it is the line of application. I am not going to teach the chromatographic technique here, but just one example I am quoting. So they put the dye red of lady who was murdered, and one dye of the shirt of husband, and TLC was run, and they found that both are having the same RF value, both dyes. It means whatever red dye in traces was on his shirt of that husband, that was the part of her sindoor, that is red dye in her hair. On that basis, he was caught, he was put behind the bar, and he accepted. Yeah, that is true. And I was very much angry, so I murdered. So there are a lot of cases like that where the forensic chemists are involved of detecting lot of such type of cases. And now with this high tech, all this instrumentation, chromatographic techniques, there is no way that they can escape. And other thing, let me tell you today what is happening, how the forensic chemists, they are catching the people because they are under, that is, closed circuit camera, undercover. And whatever activity they are doing, it is all recorded with the help of NMR, magnetic resonance imaging, video, remote sensing. One case happened in Delhi. I was there with that driver. Let me give you the example. There was one area where it was written, parking car is prohibited. If you are parking, there will be criminal case against you. One taxi man came, he parked there. Nobody is going to tell him anything. He went and took some tea. After 10-15 minutes, he came and he started smoking. After he smoked, when he came to start his car, police was there. Police said, you are under arrest. He said, why? Police said that you have parked this car since last 20 minutes. He said, what? You are telling lie. I just now dropped the passenger and I am going because I know that it is written that parking is criminal act. Here, he said, come here. He was taken to his room where laptop or all machine was there. He put on that, his all activity imaging. He started crying and weeping because he was innocent, ignorant of the today's technology. That's why in India, with the help of all this new technique of instrumentation, of chromatographic technique, of lot of chemical tests, it is almost impossible. If forensic chemist is really seriously working and he is skilled, they cannot escape. Like that, lot of poisonous, even in India, poisoning is very common now, to give the poison, especially for, in India, the lot of cases, what we have seen, because some of my chemists, they are forensic chemists and they are working there, and lot of cases they are telling us. So, lot of poisoning cases are coming for dowry, because somebody is marrying one girl and they are expecting millions of naira from that father of the girl. It is not paid. They will come and give some poison. And they will say that no, she has committed suicide. But there are all techniques available. With the help of that, it will be recovered. And also, sometimes they will use some petroleum product, like kerosene, like diesel, like some other type of inflammable substances, some gas fumes, some toxic material, not poisonous. Let me make it very clear. One word is, we are calling toxic, and one is poison. So there is toxicology, forensic toxicology, that comes under medicine. I will be dealing that one also. So the difference in toxic material and poisonous material is that any substance like arsenic, like quinine, alkali, if it is given one drop, immediately spontaneously the person is killed on a spot. That substance and material is called poisonous, where you take and immediately you are dead. Toxic substance is that it is a slow poison. It may take, it depends upon its dilution intensity to act pharmacologically. It may take 3 months, it may take 6 months, it may take 1 year, it may take 2 years. And these sophisticated chemicals in the form of gas or in the form of liquid, they are used to clear some political leaders. In Russia, such type of gaseous materials are very common. They will just leak, and they are sure that within 1 year or 2 year time, that politicians or that opposition leader or journalist, lot of political crime is there. That's why I have mentioned criminology. They are sure that within 1 2 years time, his lung will start failing, then his liver will start failing, and slowly he will die, and nothing will be known. But there is very advanced forensic chemistry. By taking their hair, it can be detected that what type of substance is given, because lot of things will be accumulated in the hair, and with the analysis, lot of things will be known. So this is all under forensic chemistry, and I am not mentioning any biological substances, because once I am mentioning any biological substance, then it will go under forensic biology. I am purely mentioning the chemical substances. Forensic chemistry means that branch of chemistry where the forensic is used, the chemical substances, to catch the criminal and crime. So here what I have already told you, I have given in the form of summary for students. Number 1, forensic chemistry is the branch of forensic that involves the application of chemical substances, chromatographic techniques, instrumentation like IR, NMR, UV, and mass spectra to detect and solve the crime. That is criminology. That's why I have mentioned that forensic chemistry and criminology. All these chemical applications are used to analyze all the non-biological substances. I have given the name non-biological substances means if suppose DNA, RNA or genetic material or nucleic acid is involved, then there will be forensic biology. So here mainly chemical substances which are non-biological, I am dealing with that. I will be discussing the biological, the forensic biology also after few lectures, because there are a lot of lectures on this forensic chemistry. Still the deep chemistry is remaining. Here it is, I am just giving the background and introduction of forensic chemistry, criminology. Then later on I am going to discuss each toxic materials, hallucinating materials, club material, casino material, sleeping material, lot of new type of psychosomatic and lot of neuro chemicals are there in synthetic form. They are used to hallucinate, to make them to sleep deeply, make them to lose their memory what happened in the night. If any crime is committed, that thing is given. Especially in the case of rape, they are using such type of chemicals in liquid drink type. Lot of things are there. So that I will be taking one by one. All these chemical applications are used to analyze the non-biological substances found at the crime scene and figure out how they connect to the person who committed the crime. I have given just 1 2 simple example, very sophisticated example where chromatographic technique, that the TLC was used to catch the murderer. Number 2, it must determine the chemical substances and discover what type of chemical substances and from where it came, and that is main source of chemical substance. Once you will get the source of chemical substance, who is the supplier, then maybe the whole gang, how they are using, synthesizing, isolating, you will get a lot of information. So you have to know the source of the chemical substance, from where it is coming. A forensic chemist will perform various types of chemical tests depending on the what type of material is used in doing the crime, in committing the crime. Number 3, that is, I have discussed a lot about poison analysis. Forensic chemistry started some 4,000-5,000 years ago by Romans, by Egyptians, and by Greeks. First, by the analysis of poison, which was used to commit murder, to kill the people. And the Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians were mainly using poison to kill their enemies. We might have seen a lot of old Egyptian films, and in that film, if you see, always when they want to kill their enemy or king, is all by giving the poison. And one more thing, that's why I have given a lot, I am not going to again write more. But one more alkaloid I want to mention here. Of course, cocaine, heroin there. One very common alkaloid, that is called nicotine. That is called nicotine, tobacco alkaloid. Is a type of alkaloid, nicotine alkaloid, what they are using here in cigarette. So how the cigarette smoking became the habit. Actually, this was the punishment given by British to their criminals in the jail behind the bar. That if suppose somebody has committed some crime, heinous crime, so the punishment is given, and in that punishment it is included that every day he must smoke 10 nicotinic cigarette type material, so that once he is inhaling, slowly it is toxic, and he will be he will be totally confused, and at the same time his body and his organs will be affected, and it may be sometimes slow poison, toxicity. So with that punishment of giving tobacco smoking is the type of punishment to their criminals. Slowly it became habit formation. So those criminals who were there in the jail, and once they were given every day 5 or 10 cigarettes to smoke, after that it became habit. So when they were released, they were searching where we can get that tobacco, so they started producing. They started growing the tobacco plant. So how the history of this nicotine alkaloid in the form of toxic and poison, of course, is a type of toxic material, slow poisoning. Your lung will be seized if you are the smoking today. If you are going to doctor, if any lung or heart problem is there, cardiovascular, first question he will ask, are you a smoker? If you say, yeah, I am a smoker, are you a Chinese smoker? How many cigarettes every day you are consuming? If you are saying maybe 20 or 30 or 40, it means your condition is very bad, your cardiovascular system is bad, your lung is very poor. Is also type of, we can say, toxicity and poison. So all these things are discussed very well, one by one. So in the next lecture again, I am going to discuss, that is lecture number 2, on forensic chemistry. That is, what are the cases and substances today which are involved in this forensic chemistry, and those cases, substances, material, one by one I will be listing, and what will be the testing of all those toxic or poisonous substances. With this I will stop. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.